Thank you for joining us today at Gemini Research Group, where we are never done helping you find the best way today. Today our focus will be on the methods our team has developed to specifically meet HRI's MENA research goals. I am your presenter and research member, David Stuckenberg, and I look forward to helping you in the coming weeks as we go forward on this project. As an overview of the areas we will cover, we will talk about the justification of research methods, conceptual framework, and questionnaire structure as it relates to our mutually agreed upon goals and objectives. Many times, compatible research methods can be combined to help achieve synergy in research and to give us a more complete and thorough understanding. As a result, we propose that both a qualitative and quantitative approach be applied to HRI's research. In the end, we can use each of these singularly or mixed to gain a more complete understanding of the information that we have garnered. When discussing qualitative, we believe focus groups are needed to gain a more full understanding of the cultural effects in each country. It's also necessary to show the website and other web tools available, as well as resources, and required to gain useful feedback on these. Under the qualitative, we believe these are needed to determine statistical models that will be used to expand data across other countries in the region and interpolate, allow measurement and analysis of data across different groups and geographies, and allow the targeting of specific age groups required to be extremely specific in our collection. By separating age groups and conducting online surveys, this allows us to remain on budget. We also believe that due to the region, individuals will feel more secure in answering questions online than out loud on a phone or in person where passerbys or other people can hear what's being discussed. Face-to-face interviews in this region are often considered very dangerous, and this is another important consideration to why we believe that the online survey is the way to go. Finally, in our analysis of the data, Gemini will combine these in a mixed method approach to assist in the evaluation of the MENA strategy, again, to gain a more complete and thorough understanding. Let's talk about the potential for growth and expansion in the Gulf states. Our entire research effort will focus on HRI's potential growth in an entire region by surveying only 6 nations: Kuwait, the UAE, Yemen, Oman, Lebanon, and Jordan. Within each of these nations, probability cluster sampling will be conducted by targeting youth from ages 16 to 25 and young adults from 26 to 40 years old. We'll use about 500 samples per nation for a total sample group of 3,000. Let's talk about the variables involved that we're going to examine with regard to our questions and each of these respondents. First, we're going to talk about government types and see the effect that they have overall on the variables that are concerning to HRI. We'll get at the income levels and the effect that those have on and a propensity the ways that they influence people's propensity to have an interest in HRI. We'll talk about demographic specifics like age and gender. And finally, we'll talk about people's core interests and see how those relate. Finally, we'll discuss a set of variables that relate specifically to our goals and objectives, mainly measuring both existing and potential HRI participants relating to participation, attitude, and disposition as they relate to HRI. We'll measure both existing and potential HRI participants related to perception, attitude, and dispositions as they relate to MENA. Again, that's the strategy part. And then we'll measure both existing and potential HRI participants relating to perception, attitude, and disposition as they relate to technology modes utilized for targeting. We'll also measure both existing and potential HRI participants relating to perception, attitude, disposition as they relate to marketing techniques employed and established traditions and customs. And finally, we'll identify common marketing pitfalls with respect to each nation and the region. Let's talk about the questionnaire structure. This is really where the bridge is made between the theoretical and the questions we need to ask and the information and the way we get at it. Gemini plans to produce an accurate questionnaire that will help us meet our common goals and your worthy expectations. To support both the qualitative and the quantitative research phases, both open-ended and closed-ended questions are going to be produced. However, the manner in which they are written will be versatile, so that they may be used in either self-administered or interviewer-administered surveys. This will help keep HRI's cost down. Survey questions will be designed with brevity and clarity in mind. This will aid in keeping the questionnaire short. In fact, completion should only take from 10 to 20 minutes per questionnaire. Again, in the case of self-administered questionnaires, brevity will also aid in increasing the survey completion rate. And for interviewer-administered, it will help keep costs down as more surveys can be administered within a shorter period of time. In addition, our methods will avoid complex language, double negative questions, double-barreled questions, and cultural taboos. Finally, they will be directly tied to indicators required to meet our research objectives. Open-ended questions will be mixed with closed-ended questions to achieve a variety, minimize bias, and to encourage completion by respondents by making it interesting. After the survey is completed, our regional linguists, cultural experts, will evaluate and translate the questionnaire into the prevailing native language for each MENA sample nation. Once the questionnaire has been translated, Gemini will sample HRI's target audience to ensure quality and clarity in the questions, instructions, and to gauge the general disposition towards the survey. These are things we need to know before the actual surveys are fielded. And then once these are accomplished, Gemini will transition into the important part, the data collection phase. This is ultimately how we get the train on the tracks and the train going down the rails. This is our proposed method of moving forward, again, in justification of research methods, conceptual framework, and our questionnaire structure. This is how we get onto the rails. We look forward to hearing your feedback in our approach and invite you and anyone at HRI in the following weeks to ask questions or contact our staff about this project at any time. Thanks again for your attention and your time. Have a great day.